but like my name's Tom, and I've come to you guys with about just shy of 20 years of law enforcement experience. I'm in northern Michigan, and I work here at a sheriff's department agency for 17 years. I was a patrol deputy, then a patrol sergeant, and worked the road for all of that time. So while I don't have background in the fire service, I do have a pretty significant public safety background from that standpoint. So I get most of this the best that I can. Um, so with our PowerPoint here, I'm going to skip past this page because you guys are already logged in. But what we try to accomplish just on our configuration one calls, we want to establish qualifiers. We want to build out groups, rotations. We want to kind of give a quick outline of the assignments as like you guys have already done. And then we want to get our work types and time off types in. And then this is going to allow us to build out our shift board once these first 5 things are done. So the goal for me will be that after the end of this call, you guys are going to be able to start using scheduling with First Due concurrently with your current pen and paper solution. So hopefully you're going to be able to find any gaps and we can work through any questions you may have over the next couple of weeks before our next call after today. Just to define some of those things real quick, qualifiers are going to be used for scheduling as like a minimum qualification needed to fulfill a shift board. If I look at your things right now, I could say look at your deputy fire chief. I would assume our qualifier for this might want to be fire chief or deputy fire chief for this qualifier so that you don't have somebody with lesser qualifications being able to fulfill that role. You guys are going to know better than I will what makes sense for you as we get into it, but that's kind of the idea behind qualifiers. Qualifiers also can be used concurrently with doing call shifts. When it comes to call shifts, that's how we would fill vacancies. And sorry, the chat's popping up here. Are those questions for me? Or are you guys internally talking about that? All right, my bad. I feel free to chime in and ask the questions here because I'm not going to necessarily see the chats right away.
Yeah, I'm Tom, just wondering
do I even need to be on this call?
Because Tom, she is from Westport Fire. She's not from our office, so I don't know if they're going to have a separate scheduling call set up.
I would assume that Westport will. I can probably tell you here real quick if they're even in my list here. Burbank, Denair, Houston, Westport does have a configuration call, which they have not scheduled yet. So yeah, you guys will have a separate one, Angela, if you want to wait.
Okay.
So you don't have to listen to me lumber on here twice. But
okay. I'll get a hold of Pat or Parnell later.
Okay, and if you want, I can send you a link to schedule with me just directly. If you want to go that route, we can do that as well.
Actually, that's great. I am including my email right now.
Beautiful. I will send that off once I'm done with this call, and we'll see you whenever we get that scheduled.
Super. Thank you. Bye, guys.
All right. Take care, Angela. All right. Where was I? Okay. So qualifiers can be used a few different ways, but ultimately, just to recap, the qualifiers are going to be the minimum qualifications needed to fulfill an assignment. Your guys' application of this might be a little bit different, but I think about, for the fire service, if you're going to be staffing an engine, you might need an officer to be working in a certain position on that assignment, or an engineer, driver, operator, what have you. Like that's going to be kind of like the minimum requirement for that. And then for our groups, it's going to be like a specialty team or unit. And for you guys, maybe putting in your fire investigators as a group might be a way to go about it. I would, from like a law enforcement background, I would put in, our SWAT team as a group. I would put in our interdiction team, maybe a Spanish-speaking officers might be a group. Those would be the types of things where you have a specialty training of people who are broken out and identified because of that training, but maybe not necessarily a qualifier, but could go either way, and we can explain that a little bit further once we get into assignments. Rotations is going to be a sequence of days on and days off that repeats sequentially. So typically we're looking at, for fire service, like the 24/48 or 48/96. For you guys on your front end and your back end, we can set up a rotation for that. And then the rotation for your on-call, which for you guys, I think ultimately is going to be like 7 days on, 28 off, I would assume we would do. And we'll build that out for you as well. Assignments are going to be specific to like a location. And for you guys, I think it's going to make most sense to just staff each agency or each like location. So you're going to do your fire prevention location and then your headquarter location. And then we can kind of divide the assignment positions within that. And then our work types are going to be your standard, either regular, straight time, whatever vernacular you guys refer to your base level pay as well as like overtime, holiday, all the different work types that you might have going forward, and the same with time off type. So it could be vacation, could be PTO, sick time, however you guys word it, we'll build it out to your vernacular. Any questions about that before we start diving into it on your guys' side of the site?
Nothing for me.
Nothing yet.
Perfect. Okay. So I'm going to go straight into your setup from the scheduling module. And I'm going to go down to qualifiers, which is going to be in this left-hand column. Right now, we've got you guys set up with your qualifiers that are built out here. It looks like some of these are probably brought in as like a generic from your workbook on the original import. But I'm guessing because with some of these, the colors have changed, that you guys have made these changes yourselves. Is that accurate?
I don't know that we changed any of the colors or anything.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't recall changing any of them.
Okay. All right. So because I don't have a great handle on what you guys are doing yet, we're just going to leave this kind of as is for now. And then we can come back to the qualifiers as we identify maybe some changes that need to get made. Groups got set up pretty well, I'm guessing. Okay. This all makes sense to me. Did you guys set this up as well?
Yes.
Okay. What is CERT?
It's a community emergency response team. So it's that's that one part-time employee.
Okay.
That's his qualifier, I guess, would be like a captain.
Okay.
But that's his group, and they do a lot of different things for our community. So
okay, cool. I like that. All right, and then rotations. Perfect. So yeah, every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you've got that set. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Cool. Started end date. Yeah, that looks good. Is the front half and back half, is that showing up for you how you would want it to show for your people? Like, is it working exactly as you intended?
I guess so. I don't have a we haven't used it very much. So and like I said, we don't use anything currently.
Okay.
So it's all new.
Okay.
So my intent was just to show basically on the calendar dashboard of who's on shift that day and all that kind of stuff.
Cool. All right. So go ahead.
That would be my perfect spot is basically getting them to all show up on the board. That way we can see who's working and if we need to put somebody on vacation or whatever like that.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. So then I'm gonna, let's just say we'll save that and back out. So if we want to get to the rules, like right now, what you guys have for the recurrence rules were built into that particular rotation. This weekly rotation that you have in here, what's the idea behind this? Like, what was your logic here?
Those ones are the couple staff members that work Monday through Friday.
Okay, perfect. All right, so we will leave that as is there, and then I'm going to jump over here to rules. And rules is where we're going to bring in like the more complicated rotations. And when I click on the manage rules, you can see that there's like all of these that are excluded, and literally there's hundreds of them in here.
Yep.
And they get built out as we go. So I'm going to look for the 7 on. Oh, that's not how you spell on. And then on 28 off. So this is going to be when we're splitting. Let me think about this. 21 off is going to be for 4 people. So if you have the
Yeah.
4 people that are splitting that duty crew, one person is going to be on for 7 days and then off the on-call for
Yes.
21 days. So when we select any of these rotations, we just hit on the check arrow, hit the check box, hit the right arrow, and it throws it over to included, and then we hit save. Now, where we'll get a little bit more complicated, we're going to go back to rotations. And then we're going to have to make 4 rotations for your weekly on-call. And then we have to pick the start dates for each one of them so that they don't overlap. And then we'll name them accordingly. Do you guys have a name that you would pick for them, or do we just want to do like on-call week 1, 2, 3, 4?
Yeah, I would just do, duty officer. Duty officer 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay. So we'll do duty officer 1. We want to show this on the shift board. I'm just going to pick colors. You guys can change these as we go. I'm just trying to make it be a little bit more differential. And
Yep.
then if we want to pick, like, we're just going to pick a date, and we just want to go back, and we can be retroactive. We can go back into September, but like, let's just pick a date for the duty officer 1 position. Like, when does that start?
On Monday. So if you want to pick like September 29th.
Perfect. So we will start duty officer 1 on the 29th. We are going to do anything about preventing concurrent rotations because we want this to overlap with your front half, your back half, and your weekly.
Yep.
We do want to show it on the shift board, so it's going to. And actually, I'm assuming we want to show it on the shift board.
Yeah.
That's just going to show a color indicator on the top of the day of who the on-call is. So whoever's assigned to this duty officer 1 is going to be green.
Okay.
We are going to have that start date be the 29th, and we are not going to put an end date because we want this to go on forever.
Okay.
And then we're going to leave the adding users to the rotation blank for now because we're going to add them from the shift board because I'm assuming it's going to be the same person that's going to be the duty officer number 1 going forward from now until forever, or at least it gets changed.
Yeah. So actually, let's change that start date to October 6th then for duty officer number 1.
Okay. So number 6.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. So then we'll do it this way, and we're not going to assign anybody into it yet, but we're just going to save it. And then I'll just quickly build out the rest of ours here. So let's do duty officer 2, set interval, 7 on, 21 off. We want to show it on the shift board. Let's make them yellow, and we're going to start number 2 on the 13th.
Correct.
And save. And then we're going to add rotation for duty officer 3. Make them that light blue color. Interval is going to be 7 on, 21 off. We're going to show it on the shift board. Let's make them brown. And then that one's going to be the 20th.
Yep.
And then save. And then our duty officer 4, we're going to go back to the 29th on. Show it on the shift board. And we'll make it that little in-between color, and we'll go back to the 29th. And save. Okay. So that's going to build out those rotations for your duty officers. And if we go next to just make sure we have your work types that are here. Is there any sort of compensation that's assigned to your duty officers when they're on call?
There is not at the moment.
Okay. So I am going to add a work type, and we're going to call this on call. And then OC just for the short code. And and I know you guys don't want to use this for payroll, but just bear with me here. The work type name is how you guys are going to know it, like locally, like for your own internal uses. The
Yep.
short code is how your payroll company would use it for. So if 6 months down the road you change your mind and you decide you want to use this for payroll, like this short code has to jive with whatever your payroll program wants to know it as. Because when
Yep, and we
first
use PeopleSoft. So exactly. Yep.
Yeah. So if you end up doing that, like this is where you do it from. Shift type. This toggle we want to have toggled off, and like on call scenario is probably the only time you would do this. Every other work type you'd leave on because basically it's telling the system that you can't be two places at once. But with the on-call shift type, we do want them to be able to be two places at once because the person who's the on-call duty officer might also be assigned to working regular time on the front half or back half, right?
Makes sense.
Yeah. All right. So with on-call, I'm just gonna make the color associated with it just gray, so it's like really benign. It's not gonna stand out to you. And then we will hit save. All right. And then I'm gonna look at your shift board real quick just to see how we're sitting. Do we have an assignment built in here for your on-call person yet? Or your duty officer?
I do not yet.
Okay. Perfect. So let's go back into our setup and look at our assignments. We can break it down how you have here. And if this makes sense to you, how you view it from the shift board, then that's perfect. If we want to break it down so it's a little bit more consolidated and we want to put in everybody who's working out of the headquarters separate from who's working at fire prevention, we could do that as well. Like we could have one assignment and have the first vacancy be for the deputy fire chief. And then we could have the next vacancy be for your training captain. And the next one can be set up for, your fire communications and down from there. So we have a little bit more of a consolidated view.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay. So maybe think about this. Are any of the people that are going to be in these like administrative like positions working front half and back halves, or is this just the weekly people?
I think it's just
yes. Yeah, they're all weekly people, but some of those people will be working the front half and back halves.
Okay. So we're gonna just wing this a little bit and see if we can make sense. And if it doesn't work out for us, we'll come back and try to change it. So I'm going to create an assignment, and I'm just going to call this one headquarters. Just for argument's sake here, we'll leave the address details blank for now. It's not as critical. And then our recurrence rule for that, are we going to be staffing headquarters just Monday through Friday?
correct.
Okay. And then what start time is going to be? Is it 7 to 1?
I would put 8 to 5.
Okay. So 8 to 5. And I'm just going to back the first occurrence up just so that we have plenty of time there. And then call signs. What call signs would we want to associate with headquarters, if any?
I would do training 1, comms 1, all the prevention.
Okay. Would it be easier for me to select all and then toggle off the ones that we don't want?
Yes,
Okay.
it would actually.
Okay, so let's do it that way.
Okay, let's see. Start at the top. Take off command post 1.
Command post 1, got it.
Take off the OES 5264.
Okay.
Take off the utility 93.
Got it.
Take off UTV 92.
Okay.
And I think, is that the end of your list?
Yes, it is.
Then you should be good. Yep.
Cool. All right, so I'll do the same thing for apparatus then. I'm going to select all, and we're going to take off command post, OES 5264, UTV, utility 93. What am I missing? Training?
Utility 93 would not be.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, okay, cool. 14.
Yep.
And then we're going to associate this with the fire headquarters. Yep.
Mhm.
All right. And then let's see here. That should work well for now. So we're going to leave, this is our base level for that assignment, and then we'll look at positions. So with the positions, we are going to have at least the first one I'm going to put down for the deputy fire chief. We don't have a qualifier for that, but oh yeah, we do. So the first one would be for the deputy fire chief.
Yep.
Here, I'm going to do this a little bit differently here so I can toggle back and forth and not have to ask you. So the next one we'll do is going to be the fire training captain.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
All right. The fire chief, save that. And I'll just do captain for that.
Yep.
And our next one, we do communications specialist.
Yep.
Oh. Have
That.
I don't see. We'll leave it as no qualifier for now. That's fine.
Yep.
We
Perfect.
don't need it. And then next after that, fire admin.
Yep.
Okay. And then what would be a qualifier for your fire admin that might be appropriate? And if we don't have one that's applicable, we can come back and make it, and we'll add it later. But
I would leave that one blank for now.
okay, so
Yep.
we'll do those two positions that are blank, and then our last one that looks like this might be the CERT rehab person.
Yep. And that is going to be a fire captain.
Okay. And then captain.
Yep.
Okay.
Perfect.
Cool. Now, this kind of builds out what would look at headquarters. And I'll just save it as is, and we're going to assume that all of these are going to be minimum required positions that need to be filled every day.
Correct.
All right. So I'll just save this as is. And now when we go back to our shift board and we want to look at, hang on, I got more going on here. Just put on headquarters. Now we get down here to the bottom-ish. This is would just be your headquarters, this labeled. And now we can put in your chief here, your training captain, your 3 administrative spots, and then your CERT person. Like all those can be in this one slot now instead of being broken up by each individual assignment.
Perfect.
And I guess the only place where we're going to have complications is if we're talking about, actually, no, we won't. It should be okay. So if you're comfortable with it, I'm going to go back into our setup and I'm going to, actually, let me do it this way. Let me get rid of the deputy fire chief. Let's get rid of the captain here, the CERT, the fire admin, the communication specialist. So now, like, this is kind of the view that we would see with just trying to consolidate down just the headquarters staff, which I would assume makes it a little bit easier to look at.
Yep.
All right, so let's start putting people in here and see what makes sense to you. Also, this is going to bother me. I spelled headquarters wrong, so my apologies. It's not headquarters.
You're good.
We're not in Boston.
Yep. And you can just fix it right there.
Yep, just fix it there and save it. Now I look more intelligent. Okay, so then we can delete these assignments out of here. I won't do it right away. We're just going to make sure this is working how we intended to. But let's plug some people into the shift board for headquarters. Who is going to be your deputy fire chief in here?
Chris Parnell.
All right. So I'm going to, we want to do this on rotation. So what we're going to do, we're going to click on this on rotation button down here at the bottom.
Okay.
And we're going to add in Chris's name on the weekly, correct?
Yep. Weekly.
And then it's going to be from now until forever. His work type is going to be listed right now as deputy fire chief. Typically, I would see that as like regular or straight time, but because you guys aren't going to export to payroll, like it's probably not a big deal.
Sure.
This whatever makes sense for you. The project code would be associated if you had like a special event or like a contract event that you were doing. Like I know like my agency would do a lot with, we'd have like big bike races or triathlons, and then they would contract with our department. And so we would have project codes set up for that, so you know how to bill. But that's all
Same
that would
thing
be
here.
for. Yeah.
Yep.
Kelly Days, I'm guessing, is a no for weekly staff. And
Correct.
we'll hit save. All right. So why is this? So you're on the front half as well, or Chris is on the front half as well. So let's figure
He
out what's
put it
going
as
on
front
there.
half because he works Monday to Thursday. That's
Okay.
why. So he probably would show front half.
Okay. So if we're going to have that type of overlap as well, that changes things.
Okay.
All right. Are you, so like right now you're in here on unassigned. So like you're already in here on rotations. All
Yep.
these people are. I don't know if this might be all by mistake though.
Chris was putting all those in, and I think he probably just thought he was, getting the system ready to go.
Yeah. So let's do this. Let's get rid of our people on these, and then we can rebuild it.
Perfect. Okay.
And then we won't have complications.
Yep.
And I
makes
hope
perfect sense.
The struggle for this is that you have such an intimate knowledge of how your agency works, and I have very little idea. So I
Sure.
want to do what's going to be right, how I think it should work. But if it's not at any point, like I apologize if I've just deleted work that people have worked really hard for.
We can redo this in 5 minutes. You're good.
Okay. All right. So let's get rid of this, and then weekly. We're just going to get her out of here. Because what happens if we add people into the rotations from the setup screen? It puts them into that unassigned portion. And kind of like the idea of why it's designed that way is if you're going to be staffing people let's say if you got somebody who's always on the front half, but they're going to be in a different assignment slot every day, you would want to be able to drag them from the unassigned person onto the vacancy that they have.
That makes sense.
It'd be kind of set up for like an agency that doesn't staff by station, but staffs by apparatus. So maybe today you work the rescue, but tomorrow you're going to be on the engine.
Okay.
But you're still on like the front half or back half rotation, but it just changes.
Yep. Makes sense.
So now, let's just work with headquarters here, and let's put Chris back in. And we're going to put him on rotation, and we're going to have him on weekly. Is there a scenario where he would also be on the front half or back half?
Well, technically he works Monday to Thursday, so technically he'd be front half.
Okay. So the way this is going to be built out now is that we're going to have a vacancy for Chris on this spot for every Friday. Does that need to be filled?
Nope. You're good.
Okay. And then captain spot here.
And is that one's is that the training captain?
Training captain, yeah.
That's Mike Lunn. Lunn.
Right,
and it's
Michael.
Michael. There you go. Yep.
And then we'll put him as fire training.
Yep.
For work type.
And he is also front half.
Okay. All right. Front half. And then today until forever. For training.
Yep.
Yeah. Save. Okay. And then this next one I think we had was going to be your communications, maybe? Yeah.
Yep, that one's me. Okay.
And then fire communications. Keep forgetting to hit rotation. Are you front half or back half?
Front half.
Okay. All right. Communications and save. Cool. And then we had 2 administrative spots. I don't know what those were. And then the last one was going to be our cert captain. So who do you want to put in for these
Okay.
2 here?
Put in Kimberly Mello. There you go.
Mellow? Okay.
Yep, that's the one.
All right. She front half,
It
back
is
half,
weekly.
weekly. Okay. And then fire admin for her.
Yep.
Okay. Save. Man, internet's slow today. Okay. And then our next admin spot.
What name was in there? It could have been Candace, CAN.
Okay.
There you go.
Let's do that.
And
Is
she
weekly?
is weekly. Yep.
Okay. All right. Hit save. And then our cert captain.
Yep, that is Kevin
Okay.
Anderson. Yep.
And then his rotation.
He is front half as well.
All right. So then we'll do that and then cert rehab save. So now with this built, I think it should be looking all right. So we've got all these qualifiers, these little tags after everybody's name is just the qualifiers that are associated with them.
Yep.
And when we see like on Michael Lunn and Kevin Anderson, how they have like duplicate qualifiers, like he's got the captain one here and then the captain one at the end.
Yep.
The first one, the first tag here is going to be associated with what this position requires. And the
Okay.
second one that's showing is because we've told it we want to see this qualifier on the shift board.
Gotcha.
So if I go into our setup and I go to qualifiers, I go to captain and hit edit, I can toggle this off to not show it on the shift board. And when I do it this way and go back to our shift board now, it eliminates that duplicate tag just to clean it up a little bit for you.
Yep.
Our colors to the left of your name are going to relate to your work type. So like for you, being on green, that work type is associated with communications.
Okay.
Blue is associated with the captain or the training, and then green down here is associated with the cert.
Makes sense.
Now, as I'm looking at it this way, I'm not going to love what's going to happen on Fridays. So if we jump out to our 30-day view and we look at our headquarters staffing, we're showing that we've got 6 of 6. But then when we come to Fridays, it's showing 2 of 6, and it gives us this red warning saying that you aren't appropriately staffed.
Correct.
If we can make it so that these positions are going to show as non-mandatory minimums, which will still show you how many people are assigned and working that day, but it's going to basically just turn it to being a blue color.
Yep.
And I think that might be the way to go, just because it'll just make it easier for you. So I'd go and take these positions and toggle all of them to not count it as a
Perfect.
vacancy.
Yep.
And then we hit save, go back to our shift board. And at the 30-day view, we can look at it and say, hey, cool, I got 6 people working on Tuesday, but it's 6 of 0 required. But on Fridays, it's only 2 of 0.
Perfect.
When you are appropriately staffed, like if you are at 0 of 0, you get the green oval. If you're understaffed, it turns red. When we're looking at the 30-day view, these colors that are on the top are representing the rotations.
Okay.
So you've got weekly, front half, back half, and then your rotations for the on-duty officer or your duty officer.
Yep.
If we want to toggle off the front half, back half, and weekly, we can. And I'm thinking if I were you, my OCD would want that because I don't really care about the front half because I know it's Monday through Thursday.
Yep.
Same with back half, same with weekly. Where it comes in handy is when you have rotations that aren't defined by days of the week.
Yep.
All right, so let's do that.
I would agree.
Turn off front half. And then we're going to do the same for back half and weekly. And then, so now the only rotations that should be showing are these. And now that the other ones aren't showing, I can get a little more clever with our colors so they stand out better. And then let's make this one blue just because. And now we go to our shift board and we look at our 30-day view, we can see who our on-call duty officer is based upon color. So if you start to learn, if you're blue or red, you can just see at a glance who it's going to be. That works for you?
Perfect.
Cool. So then let's create an assignment for the duty officer.
Okay.
And then because that's going to be 7 days a week, we're going to break that out from the headquarters or the fire prevention assignment because it's just different days of the week.
Yep.
And then, so we'll go into assignments. We're going to add assignment and we're just going to call it the on-call or duty officer on-call.
Yep.
And again, do we want to associate a call sign with this or leave it blank? It's up to you.
I would leave it blank
Okay.
because it's going to alternate who fills that, if that makes sense.
Yep. And then
You've got a deputy chief. You've got a couple different. You've got fire captain that fills it. Yep. Okay.
All right. So then we'll leave. What do you guys swap that on call? Like, is it Monday morning at 8 a.m. that the next person takes over?
7 a.m.
7 a.m. Okay. So we'll do
But
this.
it is Monday. Yep.
Yeah. So we'll do it 7 to 7. First occurrence, I'm going to back it up to the 29th because that's what we picked for at least the duty officer for.
Sure.
And then is it just one position for that?
It is.
Okay.
And then it rotates through with, yep.
And then our qualifier for that, I'm guessing because it could be a fire chief or deputy fire chief or a captain, I would assume. Any of the above?
Any of those, yep.
Okay, well, let's just leave it blank for now.
Perfect.
We can create a qualifier that would cover all 4 of those people.
Okay.
And add it in later. But otherwise, that will take care of this. And now if we go back to our shift board and we want to add in the duty officer on-call assignment.
Okay.
I don't understand why we have 2 headquarters showing up now, though.
Yeah, I'm almost wondering if that's a cached thing.
Yeah. All right. We fixed it.
There you go.
All right. So let's back up to the 29th, just so we can kind of be a little bit chronological about this. So on who is currently within your on-call for what should be the duty officer for?
So the one that began on the 29th was Mike Lunn.
Okay. So Mike is going to be starting on call the 29th. Work type, we need to switch to on call because this is going to allow him to also be on his front half rotation as well.
Yep.
And then we're going to hit save for him. And so now Mike is going to be built out every day going forward for the next 7 days as being on call for this position.
Yep.
If we look at our 30-day view, like it's good up and through this Sunday, but then we can fast forward to the next duty officer 4 rotation, and you can see that the ovals are filled in. We are staffed for that spot.
Yep.
So if we want to go to the next duty board start date, which would be the 6th, this will be number 1. Who do we want to put in here?
Let's see. The next one after Mike is going to be Chris Parnell.
So same deal. We're going to switch this to the on-call work type starting on the 6th till forever. And we're going to hit save. Now he's built out. Let's go to duty officer 2 for starting on the 13th.
Yep.
We'll do the same thing for the next person, whoever that is.
That one is Eric Klebmeyer, E-R-I-K. There you go.
Got it. Save that. And then our next one out to the 20th.
Yep.
And then who is that going to be?
That is Ruben, R-U-B-E-N.
Okay. Oop. Fat fingered that one. R-U-B.
B-E-N.
Okay. How about last name?
Wegner, W-E-G.
Maybe he's not in here.
I don't think he's in there yet.
Okay. Well, we'll leave that blank for now.
Okay.
But you should have a handle on how to do that, I hope.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, quick glance now, we start looking out at how our board's built, and now we can see our staffing is appropriate for at least 3 of the 4 weeks. And, just fast forward, into December, and it's all still here. Like everything's still staffed as it should be.
Yep.
All right. So let's hop back and take care of the fire prevention assignments.
Okay.
Now, if we want to build it out the same kind of way here for fire, do you want to call it fire prevention as an assignment name?
Sure.
Okay. And then I know we're going to associate that with the Fire Prevention Bureau call
Yep.
signs. Do we want to do the opposite ones that we missed?
You know what? If you want to do a select all and then uncheck, we can get them.
Yeah, let's do it.
So take training comms off.
Okay.
All those preventions stay.
Okay.
Take
Oh, they
chaplain
stay.
2. Yep, those all stay. Take chaplain 2, chief 1. So take those off.
Oh, sorry.
Take the rehab off.
Okay.
Take that chaplain off. Chief 3, take that off.
Okay.
Take everything off down to prevention 6.
Okay.
And then take everything below, take that all off.
Gotcha. All right. So
Okay.
apparatus wise.
You're going to want the prevention 1 through 6 there. Check
Yep.
those.
Okay. Anything else?
That is it.
Cool. All right. So then there's start time and end times.
I would put it at 8 to 5 as well. And we can go in and fix that if Parnell wants to change that.
Yeah. And then for their recurrence rule, are they just Monday through Friday as well?
They are. Yep.
All right. And then I think that'll bring us to our positions. So we're gonna have, looks like, well, is all we're gonna have is these 5?
Because
We've
the
got
fire
the marshal
marshal
in there
is.
too.
Yep. So we can build out the marshal if you want. I'll give you him. But the inspectors, I've got all that, and some of them are front half, some are 40-hour, and some are back half.
Okay. So it's going to get a little dicey if we're doing it. Let me think about this. Because the problem of what's going to happen, like if we create it like this, like how it's been done, the Monday through Friday assignment, and I put somebody in this first line vacancy and I put them on the front half,
Okay.
I then can't put somebody in the same line for the back half later in the week.
Okay.
So it gets a little bit messy unless I have been asking for them to make some changes and I haven't double checked to see if it's in yet.
Okay.
Let's see. I think let's go to fire prevention because I think you guys already have it in here. What am I doing? Okay, so
There you
recurrence
go.
rule. Yeah, it's not built in yet. So I was thinking we could do a recurrence rule so the assignment just follows the front half and back half, but it's not.
Okay.
How many people on fire prevention are front half and how many are back half?
Let's see. There are 2 that are all week.
Okay.
Then two that are all week, and then I believe there's only one on back half off the top of my head, and the rest would be front half. So 3, it'd be 3. 3 for 3 for front half.
Okay.
2 for all week, and 1 for back half.
Okay. That's okay.
Yep.
So what we'll do is we'll build it out the same way we've been doing it, but we'll make it all be non-mandatory positions.
Exactly.
And
Yep.
then we'll just have to remember that it's like each individual line is unique to that person.
Yep.
So if we want to go and do this, we're going to put in 5 positions.
Okay.
And then we're going to have them all not count as vacancies.
Yep.
We want to, with our qualifiers as is, do we want them all to be fire inspectors?
Yes.
Okay. And then that will be that. We got to hit the officer in charge. Just it needs it for the system. It doesn't change anything for you. Just so you know, it's not
Sure.
like it's going to toggle and make it be like this person's in charge of the rest of them. It's not that.
Yep.
All right. So I'm gonna hit save on this, and then go back to our shift board, and we're gonna toggle on the fire prevention assignment we just created.
Okay.
Which now we have these 4.
Yep.
Or 5. I'm sorry. So let's do our first 2. No, our first 2. Let's let them be the all week people.
Okay.
And then we'll build it that way. So we go to on rotation. I want them to be weekly. And who's the first one I want to put there?
And you want for the all week, or you want?
The all week people.
Yep. Ivan. IVAN.
Okay, so
There you go.
Ivan, and then we're gonna put him on that. I'm just gonna go retroactive to the 29th. And
Makes
then
sense.
he's gonna be on the inspector.
Yep.
Work type from the 29th until forever. We hit save.
Yep.
And then our next all week person
is Mark Jacobs.
Okay. Inspector. And then keep forgetting to hit on rotation. Inspector, rotation weekly. Hit save. Man. All right, let's do our front half people now.
Okay. Front half is going to be Shane. Shane.
Okay.
There you go.
Save.
It might make you change it to fire inspector.
Oh, yeah, I missed that. Look at that.
There you go.
All occurrences. Cool. All right, that's fixed. Next front half person.
Greta Davis, Greta. There you go.
Front half, inspector, and save. And then we have, one more.
And he's the back half.
I thought we had 3 front halves. I'm sorry.
No, it's 2. You're
Okay.
right. You've
Okay.
got the right number.
Okay. All right. So then our back half employee is
Ryan Everett.
okay. What happened here? What did I do wrong? So on the front half rotation,
Mm-hmm.
is if I think, oh, I know what I did wrong. Okay. No, we're good. So on rotation, Ryan Everett, he is back half.
Yep. Fire inspector.
Yep. And then select that and we hit save. Okay. So one thing I'm going to do for you here is there's a toggle that we can utilize that's indicating non-minimum positions in gray. So that if it is a non-minimum position, like that Friday or the Monday when we don't have people here, it's not going to show up with that yellow hue, which should indicate to you that it's a mandatory position to fill.
Okay.
But it's going to kind of show grayed out. So if we
Yep.
look at our 30-day view and we want to take a peek at like where things are looking like on Monday, we've got 4 people working Monday, but Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we all have 5. And then
Exactly.
on Fridays, it drops down to 2. Cool. So if we want to look at this now, and like today being Thursday, we've got everybody working, but as soon as we bump over to Friday, now we
drop a
only have
couple
the
people.
3. Yep.
Yep. Makes sense.
Cool. How do we feel about this?
I'm comfortable with it, and I know Chief Parnell will be comfortable with it.
Okay.
And we
So-
are, and I get the fact that we're different than a lot of the other agencies that we're setting up in the county because we go through days that we don't have coverage versus a lot of places would say mandatory, you know?
Oh, absolutely. But you guys aren't like actively out there like responding to calls in the sense that
Exactly.
you're like
Exactly.
I get it. It's
Admin
more
support.
administrative.
Yep.
Yeah. Nope. Totally get it. This is actually really it's easy to do. So, let me think here. What else you want to build for you? Okay, my OCD is going to kind of take over here. So let's like this qualifier. I'm going to take off the showing it on the shift board. We don't need that. That'll get rid of it there. So when you go to the shift board, fire inspector only shows up once.
Okay.
Then,
I got you. I see what that did.
Yep. And then we have like different views you can have. Like if this is what you guys want to see at all times, you can absolutely do it this way. Like this would be like your all assignments.
Yep.
Or if we go daily operations, like this is what your old daily operations board would have looked like based upon how it was built. But if we want to go into boards and we want to go to daily operations and edit this, we can come through here and just do headquarters, duty officer, fire prevention, and get rid of all of these other ones that we ultimately just done away with by creating these 3 new assignments. So when we go to our shift board and we just want to look at daily operations, it should just give us our 3 main ones here. So this 10, back to daily operations. Yeah, just drops us to our 3. Cool. So that's kind of if I was setting it up based on what I understand for you guys, this is how I would do it for me.
Yep. The only other thing is that, do you want to do the same thing with Chris Parnell and the deputy fire chief that you just did on the other one?
For the qualifiers?
Yeah, just so it shows one time there.
Yeah, of course. And while we're in the qualifiers, let's do a duty officer qualifier.
Perfect.
Short code for that would be familiar to you guys? DO or duty or
DO is exactly what we do.
okay. All right. And we're not going to show it on the shift board. And then our duty officers.
Yep.
Chris.
Yep.
Who else? Blun.
Eric and Lund.
Okay.
And then Ruben Wegner, which is the other guy we need to add. So those two are good for now.
All right, we'll put those 3, right? Chris, Eric,
3.
and Mike. Yeah.
Yep.
So we select them, hit the right arrow, puts them into selected. We hit save. Now they are here. And if we go into the assignments for the duty officer on call, we are going to make this position have the duty officer qualifier.
I don't think you hit save.
You know
in
what?
the last screen.
You got to tell me before I not hit save.
Well, it's hard to tell if it's internet lag or if it's or if you didn't hit it.
DO, not showing the shift board, manager users. We want Chris, Eric, and Michael. Transfer them over, hit save again. Hey, look at that. There it is.
Beautiful.
Okay, so then we come back down here into these and the positions we want to make the duty officer qualifier associated with this. So what'll happen now is that you could still force somebody into this if you wanted to.
Sure.
But it'll give you a warning. So like if we go to the shift board and I want to look at was it duty officer 3, I think.
That doesn't
So we
have
don't have
coverage. I
filled.
think you're right. Yep.
Yeah. So if we want to go to the 21st and I want to look at the single day view for that, it's vacant. Now, if I want to add in that person here, we want to do it just for a single day to fill in because maybe someone's going to be nice and cover for them. And I want to type in just anyone's name, like we'll put in Kevin.
Yep.
It's going to give me this warning right now that Kevin doesn't have the matching qualifier. You want to continue. So you can hit save and force it, and he'll go in there, and then there'll be another warning indicator on the assignment itself saying that he doesn't have the qualifier, but it'll still fill it.
Perfect.
So that kind of will be how that works. And then we could also do qualifiers for the admin if you were so inclined, but since we have the qualifier already showing for them here, and you're not going to have a ton of movement with this, it probably doesn't matter. Honestly, unless you want it.
I don't think it matters. Like you.
Yeah. Okay. So then I will go back into our assignments here. And aside from these bottom 3 that we just created, I'm just going to delete the rest of these out so they don't clutter up your screens.
Yep.
Right?
Makes sense.
Comfortable with that?
Yep.
All right. So anytime we make global changes, you probably see me do this a little bit. They want to make really sure that you know you're deleting stuff.
Yep.
And this like typing and acknowledge and like the simple copy to me doesn't like to spell acknowledge. So what I've done is I just double click on that, then I right click and do the old copy and paste.
So then you're like, I didn't really acknowledge. Yep.
I mean, I'm just working smarter, not harder. That's all.
There you go.
It took me longer than I care to admit to figure that out. And it wasn't even me that figured it out. Someone else told me about it.
Sure.
But, it's a win.
Yep, exactly.
Fire admin. So like the way it was set up, it's not wrong. Like it would have done what you needed it to do, but it just kind of creates clutter. And
go the
cool.
simplest route.
So is there any other assignments or rotations or things that we haven't hit on that like maybe you think we could fit in?
Not that I can think of. The only one that I'm questioning is our drone program where we have our pilots, but I don't even know that we want to build that one out.
Okay. Let me ask you, how are they staffed? Like, how does that work for you?
It's pretty much on call, but we don't have a rotation.
Okay. And that's fine.
Yep.
Do you guys ever do like a special event where like you come in for like community events or?
Yep, all the time.
Okay. Like anything on a regular basis that you would staff for?
Not regular basis, but it's just different special events.
Okay. Because like that would be something if we're going to staff extra people for, like someone who's not already on shift, like outside of their normal working hours. Like the example that I would use would be like for the high school football game standby, where, maybe you have somebody that goes and two people are at the high school football game. We would do that through like a snap assignment.
Okay.
And the snap assignment is going to be built off of an archived assignment. And what I'll do is I'm just going to kind of show you how that works from my onboarding site.
Sure.
I just did this for an agency. Like they do like a trunk or treat, the Halloween event, whatever.
Yep.
So we're gonna go to assignments, and we're gonna make it an assignment that's like retroactive. So we're just gonna call it trunk or treat. If I could type, and then I'm not gonna associate it with anything as far as the apparatus goes, but I'm gonna go back to October of 24.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna put it in for, excuse me, for Halloween on that date. And then set it for the next day, the 1st of November. And then however many positions I want, I'm just going to do 3.
Okay.
And then hit save. So you'll see, I'm sorry, my throat's really dry. Bear with me just a second. I got to drink some water.
Oh, you're good.
I've been recovering from a little bit of a cold here, and the talking for an hour and a half straight kind of gets to me after a while.
And it's getting that time of year.
So when I created it, it's now going to show up under the archived, and down here at the very bottom is the trunk or treat.
Okay.
And so now if I'm at my shift board and I want to start building out and planning for this Halloween, I come up here to this more options drop down. It's in the upper right hand corner, and I want to say add snap assignment.
Okay.
The snap assignment always pulls from archived assignments only. So you have to have it in here archived. And now I can go and pull the trunk or treat.
Okay.
I want it to be this Halloween.
Yep.
Start and end date. And like, let's say we're only going to run it from 1800 to 2200. And I can hit save. So now for me, if I go to the 31st, I not only have my patrol days and patrol nights set up for my imaginary police department, but I should have, I click the right day, I should have trunk or treat in here.
There it is.
So now you can staff this as you want and sign your people up for it if you wish, or you could sign up for it or however. Like that would be how we would create that vacancy for those positions.
Perfect.
Aside from that, if we're going to look at like taking people in a time off and backfilling, you probably won't be backfilling much, but if you want to see time off, we can do that real quick too.
Sure.
So with time off, like for example, let's say I want to take Conrad Howard here. He doesn't want to work on Halloween. He's taking his kids trick-or-treating at 6, so he wants to bail. So he's either submitted a request through the time off through the scheduling software, or he's just come to you in person and said, hey, I want to take this day off. As the administrator, you can either right click on his name and send him to time off from here, or you can click on him and drag him into time off for that day. Either way, it brings you up this pop-up window. And you can select what type of time off they want to be off on, whether it's comp time, vacation time, whatever. And then we set the hours. Like it could be a partial day off. Maybe he just wants to leave early and go home at noon. So he works for the first 6 hours of the day. And we can hit save. And then we've got it set up from here. So he's showing off. I must have did this right. I did it opposite, but he's off from 6 to 12 instead of 12 to 8. But that would be how you move someone into time off from that standpoint. We can also just cancel that time off from here and deny it, and then it puts him back on rotation where he should be. If you had somebody who was looking for like a longer vacation and you want to do it all from this screen, we can make it recurring time off. And let's say he wants to be off from the 31st to the 8th. We can set that as well. And we hit save.
Okay.
The
matching shift.
Yeah. Yeah, that's because he wasn't working that date. But
gotcha.
Yeah. But that's how you do it for that length of time. If you're doing it manually, especially if someone's calling in sick or whatever. But I think the way you're going to use this scheduling isn't going to be as critical to make those types of movements because you're not going to need to backfill necessarily.
Sure.
Whereas like if you're staffing an engine, like that needs to be filled. Any questions at all?
No, not at all.
Okay. Well, this is all pretty straightforward for you guys. I hope this is looking how you want it to look.
Yep, that's exactly what we were looking for.
Yeah. From there, I guess we're kind of done with what we cover for our configuration 1 calls.
Yep.
And then do you want to schedule our next call a couple weeks out once you guys have had a chance to mess around and play with it?
Yep, that would be perfect. If you could send us the link to schedule it.
Yep. We can do that, or if you want to, I mean, I guess you don't have your whole team with you now, so we could pick a date and time right now too, but I can send you the link as well.
Yeah, send the link just because I want to get with Chris. His calendar's a lot more busier than mine.
Yeah, of course. So I'll send you an email here probably in the next hour. It'll have a link to the meeting recording as well as the link to schedule our next call. And in the meantime, if you have any questions, you run into something, don't like beat your head on the desk over it. Just shoot me an email and let me know you got a question and we'll solve it because I don't want you to get frustrated with it.
That's awesome. Thank you.
So, all right, Chad, well, have a good rest of your day and be safe.
Thank you. Have a good rest of your week.
All right, take care.
Take care.